In case you've missed the previous video, or all of them, we are currently solving a murder. All we know is that our victim was found in a strange location wearing strange clothes. What is going on? And are we able to solve this one? So we got a bunch of new locations, I think, and suspects. I don't know if my casebook has updated. Oh, it did. Find Darius at the opium den. Find Cormac at the water treatment station. What about the one who stinks? Where is he? He's not on here. That's all I have. But that's weird though. I'm sure I had one more location, do I not? No, opium den. No, I don't. The bakery? Do we want to go there? Upton's apartment? Why don't we?
All right, Mr. Chavez. The cake and muffins come to a total of 3 shillings, 10 coppers.
There you are, Mrs. Morgan. And thank you again. Barbara is going to love this.
My pleasure. Enjoy.
Oh, she's a bit more friendly.
Pardon me, sir.
Than the bartender. Or barmaid.
I'm sure Barbara will enjoy them, the cow. Ah, Mr. Fordham. Welcome.
Thank you, Mrs. Morgan.
What were you saying?
Have you got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
Do I have questions for her? Oh, this is the first time I'm seeing her close up, by the way.
What can you tell me about your brother?
Ronan was the best brother anyone could have asked for. He took care of me after our parents died. Carriage accident. I was only 9 and he was 13. Ronan went out and found work and managed to support the both of us. He was just a child himself, but he kept us out of the gutter. Or worse, the workhouse.
How did you hear of his death?
Ronan comes by to visit me every day after he finishes work. When he didn't come for 2 days in a row, I got worried. I went to his apartment, but he wasn't there.
Oh, I want to go there.
So I made a report to the police. Yesterday, they contacted me and asked me to come to the mortuary.
Aww.
I'm terribly sorry for your loss, Mrs. Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Fordham. Please, find whoever did this to him. Ronan deserved so much better.
And she's alright.
What do you know about your brother's murder?
Only what the police told me. He was shot at close range outside that pub in the Chum. Nothing was missing, and his wallet had money in it, so they said it wasn't a robbery. I didn't recognize the clothes he was wearing. I had never seen them before, and they were far too big for him. I still can't believe he's gone. He was the only family I had left.
Dr. Edwards at the mortuary might be able to give us some more detailed information. The only thing we'll get out of this one is more tears.
Ah, so she does give me a lead. That's great, because I was kind of wondering should I even speak to her, but I'm glad I did.
What sort of life did Ronan lead?
You know, just normal. He'd go to work, come visit me afterwards, and go home. He didn't have much of a social life. At least he never mentioned any friends to me. I always hoped Ronan would meet a nice girl to settle down with, but he was so shy, you know.
Where did Ronan work?
At the Grips Home Taxidermy Shop in Gascone. I always thought it was rather macabre work, but he enjoyed it. Bit lonely, though.
Another location, I think. His apartment, yeah, I want to go there.
Can you give me the address of Ronan's apartment?
It's at 1172 Bushmill Street. I have a spare key.
That would be most helpful. Thank you.
See, do you see how many leads and locations I get for this one? It's so different from previous ones. A lot. It feels kind of overwhelming and also a bit exciting.
So, this is your bakery.
My husband Gerald and I have had it for almost 10 years.
Is it just the two of you? Do you have any children?
Alas, no. Some extra hands would be most welcome in the kitchen,
Because
but
that's
we
why I have
haven't yet
children.
been blessed. It's such a shame that Ronan never got to be an uncle.
She keeps going back to that. Doesn't matter what topic I choose.
What are your thoughts on the outcome of the election?
Oh, I haven't given it much thought, to be honest. It hardly seems to matter now.
Yes, of course. My apologies for bringing it up. Those
Yeah,
are
why
all the
did ya?
questions I have for now.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
Why is that election so important? I don't get it. What does that have to do with this?
A very wise man once told me, never go poking around the back rooms of bakeries. I think you'd do well to heed that advice.
Why? I like poking around.
Well, I never had much of a sweet tooth, but even I'd consider buying some of this stuff. You know, if I were still alive. Minor detail, I know.
Minor.
A bunch of assorted baking products. Don't waste your time with those, Miles. We've got a murder to solve.
I just want to check out everything.
Those look nice, but given the choice, I'll always side with pie over cake.
Alright, I don't think there's much else I can do here, so let's see what she gave. Oh, I got a lot. Speak to Dr. Edwards, investigate the taxidermy shop, and search his apartment. Alright. I keep leaving via the door, but I can also do this, which is easier. I got a lot, see? This is where he was found. This is one of the suspects is here. This is the other one. This is where he worked. The police station is for the coroner, or whatever you want to call him. And his apartment. I want to go to his apartment to check that out. It's kind of weird.
Quite the collection of exotic items in here. Ronan appears to be a seasoned world traveler.
Or at least knows
Shining.
someone who is.
Did you see that? There's something in
This
here.
one is scarier than the other masks. Wait a moment. I think I saw something shiny in the back of the mouth.
Yep. Let's take it. I think it's a key or something.
How about that? A perfect hiding place for a key.
Knew it. What else? Desk. Let's check it
Now
out.
to find out what Mr. Lespay finds so precious. A model of the SS Joondalup. Looks like a merchant vessel to me.
A
This one
letter?
appears to be from Emily.
Let's read it. Ronan, Gerald and I will be celebrating the new year and would like to invite you to spend it with us. Please feel free to bring along any guests you'd like, especially any lady friends you might have. All my love, Emily.
Looks like you found Ronan's journal.
Ooh, cool.
Perhaps this will be able to give us some more insight into what he was up to before he died.
Yeah, it might. Let's read it. Read a random entry or leave. Alright.
Let's see. November 9th, 1843. I have an uneasy feeling of dread today. Last night I had a frightening dream where fire rained from the sky and people were afflicted with an awful disease. I'm just going to focus on my work today. Perhaps the feeling will pass.
Let's do another one.
February 24th, 1844. Jimbo has been at sea for nearly 2 months. These long periods away are the most difficult, but all the time seems to disappear when I see him again. My solace is that he will return with plenty of tales of adventure. I can hardly wait to hear them.
Wait, but she said he didn't have any friends. Is this in code, maybe? So let's leave it for now? Because maybe I think I need to find something.
They appear to be a pair of letters from Ronan's landlord.
Ronan, with regards to your request for an extension to pay this month's rent, I'll gladly give you until next month. You've always been a reliable tenant who has paid on time, so don't be concerned. I hope you resolve your issues, Stanford. And the other one? I understand we all go through financial difficulties, but I'm afraid I can't extend my generosity beyond the end of 2 months. Please have the rent ready by then, or I will have no choice but to seek legal action against you.
It's empty. Too bad.
That was very loud. What about this? Letters.
Aha! A letter from someone called Jimbo?
Ronan, next week will be a year since we met. I can honestly say my life has changed for the better in every possible way, and I will always hold July 8th as a special day in my heart. I can't wait to see you again, Jimbo. I think, but that is what my theory is right now, is that these victims, how do you say it? They like men, and the killer doesn't like that, and that's why he chooses these men as his victims. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm being clear on it, but that's what I think right now.
Ooh, this teacup could use a washing. I'd be surprised if it isn't permanently stuck to the desk.
And also, what is this outline? Can I not do anything with that? Can I do... Oh, read entry.
There are 2 entries, one from this year and one from last.
So, start with last year's.
July 8th, 1843. I've decided I need to get out more, so I'm going to a club in Gascon tonight. Stuffing animals has taken its toll, and I need to talk to someone who isn't Emily or my coworkers. Gerald told me about a place called the Crimson Cat. I'll try it, and if I don't enjoy myself, I'll just come home.
We know the place.
Now for this year's entry. July 8th, 1844. Today is our 1-year anniversary. We're going to meet at the Cat again. I love him, but I wish he wasn't so attached to that place.
See?
Emily is so nosy, I worry that she might follow me and discover the truth about Jimbo. If we moved around, I wouldn't worry, but with him, it's always the Crimson Cat. I really shouldn't complain, though. What we have is something truly special.
Well, it seems that our best hope of finding this Jimbo character is to visit the Crimson Cat.
Yep. But what was he doing at the other bar? Oh, I thought he would just leave, but we just leave the journal. So I think my theory is right so far. Do I need to look at
Ronan
everything?
wasn't too concerned with comfort, apparently. This is hardly bigger than a bunk at sea. I had an illustration that looked similar to that one. I wonder where it ended up. I guess Ronan won't be realizing his world travel dreams now. Death really has a way of messing up your plans.
That's putting it mildly.
Ronan's book collection mostly consists of cheap pulp adventure novels, but this top shelf looks interesting.
I thought it might, because this book looks different. What did it say? Secret customs of the Orient, I think. You must be aware, dear reader, that the customs of the Orient differ greatly from our own. You would do well to familiarize yourself not only with the common ones, but the more obscure and clandestine ones as well, lest you offend anyone on your travels. Opium use. Oh, but this is one of the suspects is at an opium den. At the turn of the century, travelers to the Orient would often seek out the more exotic pleasures, which is to say opium. It's also funny because if you've seen my playthrough of The Testament of Sherlock Holmes, he also goes somewhere where they smoke opium and they look oriental, to be honest. Nowadays, the influx of immigrants from China to Vespuccia has caused a significant drop in this type of tourism, as many opium dens have appeared in El Presidio, with some even known to exist as far east as New Breton. In any case, opium dens are open to all who seek to indulge. Known colloquially as riding the dragon, the use of opium recreationally I can't say it. Recreationally for relaxation or as a social activity is a common pastime. It's so weird because I can say it and now I'm reading it and I can say it anymore. I don't know. Bajou. If you're offered wine, make sure you understand what exactly it is you're about to drink. Chances are it might be bajou, a clear liquid usually distilled from fermented sorghum, although other grains may be used. Southern China versions may employ glutinous rice, while northern Chinese varieties may use wheat, barley, millet, or even Job steers instead of sorghum. The Jiku starter culture, alright, used in the production of bajou mash is usually made of pulverized wheat grains. As a foreigner, drinking bajou may be a shocking experience. It has been known to be used as a way of proving oneself in a group. This high concentration of alcohol is often too much for anyone not used to it. Exercise caution, the last thing you want is to end up face down in a back alley.
It's in another
Bible?
language, but it appears to be a Bible.
Is that all?
It's in another... No title, and it appears to be blank. I wonder if Ronan just kept empty books on his shelf to appear well-read.
Nah, I doubt it. Kangaroo. Oh, this is about animals. A strange cross between a rabbit and a donkey. Is that how they describe a kangaroo? Is a marsupial, which is to say it has a pouch where its young reside until reaching maturity. The kangaroo is herbivorous and travels by hopping on its powerful hind legs. Koala may appear at first glance to be small bears, but are in fact marsupials. So this is what it's about, a marsupial, but why? Like the kangaroo, baby koalas spend their first few years inside their mother's pouch. Koalas sleep many hours in a day and feed primarily on the leaves of the eucalyptus tree. But this is Australia, right? This has nothing to do with the Oriental, does it? Black rhinoceros. An adult black rhinoceros stands 150 to 175 meters in height at the shoulder and is between 3.5 and 3.9 meters in length. An adult weighs from 850 to 1600 kilograms, exceptionally to 1800, with the females being smaller than the males. This seems like kind of a code or a puzzle or something that I need to, I don't know, do math, figure out something. In African elephants, males stand, see, it's just numbers, tall, shoulder and weight, while female tall and weight is smaller with male shoulders height up to. I don't understand these two. Africa, Australia, I've read this. Yeah, I can do anything with these two, so. Don't know, it's weird. Maybe I need to go back.
Some kind of
here.
owl mask. The hair looks incredibly familiar.
Does it? What does that mean?
Just looking at this painting is making me feel seasick.
Alright, I think that's it for the apartment. Let's check our casebook. Did it update? Yes, I got all the letters. Oh, alright. So Emily is the sister, right? I forgot her name. I think so. I have a small gold key, that's right. But I haven't found anywhere where I could use that. Maybe his work. I haven't been there. Should we go there, visit his workplace? Taxidermy shop.
Hello and welcome to the Gripsome Taxidermy Shop. Please let me know if I can be of service.
He can be of service. Let's take a look around.
Reminds me of the one in the Dupre house, except that one actually looked alive. There's a small button on the base.
Oh, there is. Can we press it?
Welcome to the Gripsome Taxidermy Shop.
Is that ain't
Please
creepy?
enjoy our displays and be sure to consider us for all your taxidermy needs. Just a reminder, we stuff animals only. Wah!
You better be. This is super, super weird.
I wonder how many people it took to bring down this brute. There's a small button on the base.
I know. Oops. Uh-oh.
Just when I thought I'd seen it all. What will they think of next?
I feel kind of bad because I like animals.
Is that supposed to be a lion?
Is it? I don't like this shop.
Exotic dead fauna from every other continent. You never even need to leave Vespuccia.
I hope they all died natural causes.
I thought owls were supposed to be wise. How'd this one let itself end up on display in a place like this?
So I guess they didn't.
That leads into a room with even more dead things. It's such a shame we haven't the time to stick around and explore.
It's not really a shame, but I do want to find a place for that key. Can I still do with the parrot the same thing? Alright, I don't want to do that. But why can I do that though? Do I need to distract him? I think I might.
I was wondering if you might answer some questions for me.
Of course. What can I help you with?
He also looks like the perfect person for a store like this.
I was told Ronan Lespay works here. Do you know him?
Ronan? Yes, of course. That is to say, I know he works here. I haven't had much interaction with him. He mostly keeps to himself.
Does he have an office or workspace I might have a look at?
Now wait just a minute. Why would I let some random stranger off the street in to look at an employee's workspace?
Because I'm a private investigator and I'm trying to get some information.
Well, even if that is the case, I'm afraid you're out of luck. Ronan does have a workspace, but it's completely bare. He doesn't keep anything here.
I still want to see it though.
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered 4 nights ago?
I had no idea. That's awful. What happened?
That's what I'm currently trying to find out. Do you know if Ronan had any enemies? Anyone who might want to do him harm?
No. As I said, I didn't speak with him much, or know much about him. But now that I think about it, I did notice a strange man waiting around outside the shop a few days ago.
Ooh, interesting. I want to know about the strange man.
Tell me about this strange man you saw.
At the time, I didn't think much of him, but the more I recall, the more I realized he was being very suspicious.
That's how the
What
mind
did he do?
works.
He just stood outside across the street, but he seemed to be focusing on the building. It was as though he was waiting for someone.
Do you remember what this man looked like?
I didn't get a very good look at him, but I do remember some
I
things.
think this is the love interest
He
though.
was tall and had a heavy build, like a boxer or a dock worker. He had a beard, I think, or mutton chops at the very least. And as far as I can recall, he was wearing all black. He also had on some kind of cap.
That is
I'm
weird.
sorry I can't give you a better description, but that's all I was able to distinguish. My eyesight isn't very good, I'm afraid.
It'll have to do. Thank you for your help.
It's better than nothing. Clue added. Let's ask about the creepy shop.
Anything you can tell me about the shop?
Plenty! This is New Britannia's most sophisticated taxidermy shop. Unlike other taxidermists, we work with modern technology to get results they could only dream of.
What does that mean exactly?
Using steam tech, we are able to create the illusion of life in these beasts. Just take a look at our floor samples. The parrot and gorilla are 2 of our finest works. They really speak for themselves. Well, the parrot does at least. I think it would frighten our customers if the gorilla did too. And once ethericity is harnessed as a viable source of energy, we'll get even better results.
This guy is way too excited about bringing dead things back to life.
Couldn't agree more.
Yes, fascinating. Moving on.
Not really. He's very sarcastic.
So how did you get this job?
Oh, it isn't a terribly exciting story, I'm afraid. I just saw an ad in the Gazette for a clerk position. I never expected to learn so much about taxidermy.
I'm sure he's amazing conversation at parties.
And the election again, I don't know why, but
Any thoughts on the recent election?
I'd really rather not talk about it. I don't know how the people of this country could put someone like Hart Leroy in charge.
whoops,
It's obviously because he holds the interests of the common man above all else.
obviously.
So, you're just like all the other cowards who think steam tech is dangerous. Well, I hope you like the idea of living in the Dark Ages, because that's where Leroy is going to take us.
Hey, I had to
Perhaps
choose.
it's best if we drop the subject entirely. Thank you
Yeah.
for your help.
I'm here to serve.
I don't know who to choose. I don't live there. I just had to choose someone, so I did. Don't blame me. Alright, I had a clue. It said, I think... Description of strange man. A tall man of large build, like a boxer or a dock worker, had a beard or mutton chops and was dressed in all black, wore a cap. Well, if you want to look suspicious, you should dress like this. So, that's kind of weird, I agree. What has changed? Something has fallen off. Wait, what's gone? Find Jimbo at the Crimson Cat. A few things have gone, but I don't know what I did. Go to his apartment, maybe? I don't know. So Jimbo is the love interest guy, so I can go to the Crimson Cat. I can go to the... what do you want to call it? I keep forgetting his name. They don't call him Garner, do they? No, just Dr. Edwards. The weird guy. So I can do that. Been here. Or I can speak to one of the suspects. But what did I need to ask him? I forgot.
I was beginning to wonder when you'd show up.
Oh, so I had to do this
Well,
earlier.
wonder no longer. I'm here and I need to see Dr. Edwards.
Oh, I see how it is. He helped you solve a case, and now you don't have time for us lowly front desk clerks.
That's just the way it goes, Upton.
That's just the way it
Maybe
goes.
next time you should pick a nicer coffee house.
Right. You know the way. Snelling isn't in today, so you're all clear.
Well, that's a relief. Thanks, Upton.
That's not very nice. He's even letting you stay in a home and everything.
Can we talk for a moment, Upton?
Certainly. What's on your mind?
I don't know that yet. Oh, a lot. Strange man. Why can I ask her about this?
Upton, I need you to put out a bulletin. There's someone I need found.
Ah,
Oh, who's that?
I don't know his name. I only have a description.
All right, I'll need to ask you a few questions. Could you describe the man's height and build?
oh, do I need to do that? Ooh. It was it tall and large or average and medium? I think it was tall and large.
He's tall, with a large build.
All right. What color is his hair?
I don't know that because he wore a cap. So I'll say black.
I believe it's black.
All right. Do you know of any unique details that might make him easier to identify?
Dressed in all black, beard or mutton chops, both.
He has a beard, or mutton chops.
I see. Well, I'll put out the bulletin, but that's a bit of a generic description.
Wait,
All right. The bulletin is out. I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Thanks, Upton. I appreciate the help.
could I get my information and then put out another one?
Can we talk?
Sir,
I don't know. I can still do that.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about Ronan Lespay, would you?
probably nothing more than you already know. His body is in the mortuary, and the reason for his murder is unknown. I suggest you speak with Dr. Edwards.
I'm gonna. I can review the case.
I'm guessing you can't go over this case with me either.
Oh no.
I have to distance myself completely from this one.
Why?
So when you figure it out, you'll need to speak directly to Mrs. Morgan. I can still try and help you if there's something specific giving you trouble, though.
Oh, she does give me hints or something. Election?
That was one hell of an election, wasn't it?
That it was. I don't know how he managed it, but I'm glad Leroy won.
I feel the same. Atwood seemed convinced he had it in the bag.
I think he just grossly underestimated how much the Lygia disaster affected everyone. Thought we could go on like nothing happened. Hell, if Prince Harold hadn't been aboard, we would have. Now, isn't that sad?
I can ask about her.
How are things with you?
Better than last week, but plenty of feathers still ruffled around here.
What happened?
You have to ask. Snelling was not happy with you turning up at the Latham crime scene. He was a right inquisition around here. Snelling going around to interrogate everyone, trying to ferret out a leak.
So he suspects.
I'm afraid so. I managed to calm him down some and divert suspicion. He thinks someone on the force is speaking to the Gazette, not to you directly.
Well, that's some kind of relief. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Oh, don't worry about me. Well, maybe worry about me a little.
Yeah, I don't want you to lose your job.
I'll let you get back to work.
And you'd better do the same.
Guess you're my only way in. And also you're very nice to me and I'm kind of rude to you. Or at least not very grateful. Oh, he's doing something else now. Oh, I just want to check if there's something I can do, but there's brain.
It looks rather fresh.
Ooh.
There's a plaque at the base of the jar that says H. Putnam.
Oh my god. Do they really do this? I hope not. Let's speak with him.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything, Edwards.
Ah, Fordham. Always a pleasure.
Have you got time for some questions?
Of course.
I only want to know this, to be honest.
So what can you tell me about Ronan Le Spay?
Caucasian male, approximately 27 years old. Died of blood loss as a result of being shot at close range.
Yeah, that'll do it.
He was brought in 4 nights ago. I performed the postmortem the following day. After that, his next of kin was contacted. I believe his sister came to identify the body.
Any personal opinions on what might have happened?
Well, the fact he was shot at such a close range would suggest it was done by someone he knew. And robbery doesn't appear to be a motive, since his wallet was found on the body with money in it. Beyond that, your guess is as good as mine.
Better, I hope.
What about if the love interest did it? And he is secretly the serial killer seducing all these men and then going out murdering them. Could be. I don't know, I'm just using my imagination.
Did the postmortem reveal anything?
Quite a few things, actually.
Ooh, do tell.
Mr. Le Spay was extremely inebriated when the shooting took place. There was enough alcohol in his blood to presume he had been drinking for hours before his death.
That's weird.
I also managed to remove the bullet from his heart. It's a .36 caliber lead ball, standard revolver shot. It shouldn't be too hard to match to a weapon, provided you can find it.
I thought he was shot in the head, wasn't he?
Did you notice anything unusual about the clothes Mr. Le Spay was wearing?
Unusual? Not really. They seemed a bit big for him, but that's all.
His sister seemed convinced that they didn't belong to him.
That's a distinct possibility, but I couldn't say for sure. He could have just been a sloppy dresser.
Yeah, why would he know?
So no murder weapons been found?
That's right. Either the killer still has it, or the police just overlooked it.
Could be both.
If you happen across any weapons in your investigation, be sure to bring them to me. I can tell you if it matches the bullet.
Oh, cool.
Thank you, Edwards. I'll be on the lookout.
But to be fair, if I find a gun somewhere, shouldn't I just show it anyway? Isn't that kind of weird to just leave it somewhere, I mean? Do I want to speak to everyone about the election? I don't know. I feel like I kind of have to.
What are your thoughts on the election?
There was an election?
All right.
I think our friend Edwards needs to get out a bit more.
Yeah.
How's the coroner business?
Things have been pretty dead around here lately.
Literally.
Don't quit your day job, Edwards. I'll be going now, Edwards.
Take care, Fordham. And
this is
remember,
short.
not everyone gets to leave the morgue alive. So consider yourself lucky that you can.
Yeah, I'd rather not be here at all. So I think I don't have to look at anything over here. I hope not. Did he update something? I still have to speak to him about the murder, but maybe that's because I have to find the murder weapon and show him. I think that's why it's still on there. Ronan was shot at close range. At close range, they say. They didn't say to the head. .36 caliber pistol. He was extremely inebriated at the time of death. Tall man of large build, so I got that right. Beard and mutton chops, dressed in all black, wore a cap, but it says nothing about his hair. So I don't know about that. Don't know. Alright, where to now? Let me think. I've been here and I haven't been to the Crimson Cat. Should we do that? Before speaking to the suspects?
Ah, the Crimson Cat. One of my favorite underground clubs. Ooh, I spent some wild nights here. Which reminds me, I wonder if Stefan is still working the bar these days.
That's so funny because in the previous case you could unlock a suspect who plays the piano, who's gone now by the way. But you could have overlooked that and not done that and still solved the case, I believe, because he was innocent eventually. But the intro to the bar, it's the same. He says the same things, that Bill guy. That's kind of funny. It's crowdier now. It's daylight.
Beg your pardon. Your name wouldn't happen to be Jimbo, would it?
Yeah? Who's asking?
Miles
Interesting.
Fordham, private investigator.
Fits the
Can a guy
description.
enjoy his shore leave without being harassed by the law? I've done nothing wrong.
I didn't say you had, and I'm most certainly not the law. I just want to ask you a few questions.
All right, fine.
He's wearing a cap and everything. This is definitely our guy.
You know Ronan the Spey?
I knew him, yeah.
Knew him?
He and I haven't spoken recently. In about a month, actually. Things didn't go so well last time.
How do you mean?
Let's just say we didn't part on the best of terms. He made it very clear that he didn't want to speak to me again.
I don't believe that.
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered?
What? No, when? What happened?
He was shot outside a tavern in Chumley 4 nights ago.
Chumley? What was he doing there?
I was hoping perhaps you could tell me.
I honestly don't know. Ronan hardly went out, and he especially never crossed the river.
Why was that?
I think he was just too scared of the world to go out and see it for himself. He was happy enough reading about it in his books or collecting things I brought him back from my travels. Honestly, that's what I liked most about him. He was just an average, boring man.
That's kind of
It was
mean.
just the sort of balance I needed in my life.
That's pretty much the exact same reason I always enjoyed working with you, Miles.
That's so mean. And also, if he's thinking up the spill, he's kind of mean to himself.
You and Ronan had a special relationship, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Mr. Fordham, we're in an underground club. You don't have to tap dance around it. Yes,
don't?
Ronan and I were a couple. At least up until last month.
What happened, if you don't mind me asking?
We had a misunderstanding. Ronan thought I had been seeing someone else. He was extremely jealous. I tried to explain that he had it all wrong, but he wouldn't hear me out. I was going to give him some time to cool off, but, well, that's not going to happen now, is it?
Well, he's cooling
If
off.
it's any consolation, I found a letter you wrote him, which he still kept in his desk.
Damn. Thank you for telling me that.
What does this mean, name?
Where does the name Jimbo come from?
Oh.
It's just a nickname. My real name's James Bowcroft.
And what is it you do?
I'm a sailor. I thought you detective types were supposed to be extra observant.
True
Shouldn't you
that.
be able to tell me what my occupation was just by looking at my fingernails or something?
Well, I'm not sure.
Sorry to disappoint. Perceptiveness is important in my line of work, but I'm also just a man.
I think perhaps Jimbo has been reading too many of those detective stories in Brentwell's.
Yeah, it's kind of like Sherlock Holmes. He could do that, but he wasn't real, never existed, so.
Do you have any opinions about the recent election?
Not really. I'm usually way at sea, so I don't keep up with politics. The sea's got her own laws. Anyway, I can't vote, so it's really none of my concern.
But you're still affected by the decisions the Prime Minister makes.
Not very fair, is it, Mr. Fordham?
No, but hopefully Mr. Leroy will stand up for equal rights.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
So I can, how do you call it? Stop that, what's it called? APB? What's the official term? I don't know. The profile that Upton sent out. Whoops, I didn't want to go to the map. Still wanted to look around. Because I think I found him.
Quite the selection. It rivaled
Yeah, I think he's
good old
saying...
Bollingworth Ale. Well, not while
Sips
you're
and
drinking
things.
it anyway. The next morning is another story entirely.
This lady was there last
This place
time.
has been around for quite some time.
Yeah, it's the same commentary.
Call me old-fashioned, but I've always felt the PM...
Yep. So if you want to see that, watch my previous playthrough, or not my previous playthrough, my previous part, one of them, I don't know which one. It's in the case with the kidnapping, I believe, the child who was kidnapped. And that lady, the mother, had a relationship with the piano player, and that's why I went there. But it didn't lead to anything, I don't think. So what now? So the strange man, I'm sure that's this Jimbo guy. I still need to investigate the murder site. What did I miss? Did I miss the weapon? Let's go there real quick. That would be kind of sloppy though.
It's an ad...
Just have the outline. Yeah, he was shot in the heart, not in the head. But I thought they were all shot in the head. Train.
Yesterday's rain has made the water level rise significantly. Is it just me, Or does it look like there's something resting at the bottom of the drain?
See, I missed
If
it.
there is, I have no way of getting to it through the drain cover.
So what then? What do I need to do? Bolts.
Securely fastened, unfortunately for you. If only there was some way to undo these bolts and remove the drain cover.
Do I need to ask the friendly barmaid? Who for sure will help me from the bottom of her heart, but not really. I think I do.
Your mascot seems to be a raven with a glowing red eye. Is that meant to attract customers or to scare them off?
I'll ask her, see what she says. Or I need to find that somewhere else could also be. But I can't speak to her, so...
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
Oh no, just this.
I was given the physical description of a man, and I was wondering if you might recognize him if I told you.
Perhaps. Go on then.
He's tall, strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
It's a Jimbo.
Bit vague, wouldn't you say? That covers about half our clientele.
I was afraid that might be the case. Did you notice anyone of that description here on election night?
No. Can't say I did, sorry.
I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah.
Alright, but it's a Jimbo, so I don't know why this Miles, Fordham, whatever, he doesn't get that. So I need to open that crate. What do you call it? No, that's not how it's called. The drain. Because I think that's where the murder weapon is, but I can't do that because I need something. And where will I get that? Would that be at her apartment? Maybe?
Looks like that umbrella's gotten some good use. It was quite the rainstorm we had yesterday.
This is leaving. I don't think there's anything here, and I can't go to my own apartment anymore because my wife kicked me out. Very rightfully so. So, the police station, no. Maybe would the coroner have something? I could check it out. And ask her if
Can we talk for a moment?
this thing has
Can
any
I try giving you
results.
that description?
Sure. Could you just...
Wait, I don't have any more descriptions. I'd
He's
have
tall.
to do
Alright.
this.
I believe he has.
All right.
The bulletin. So I can do that, but I'm sure it's a Jimbo guy, so it's kind of weird to me.
I don't think the
No, he has nothing for me.
assorted lab equipment first. Or perhaps
He has a lot of junk, but I don't think anything can help me.
it's important to keep your hands clean when dealing with dead bodies. After all, you never know where they've... Edwards keeps assorted bottles and...
Nothing too
I'd say being
remarkable.
hooked up to that machine... Imagine it. You've seen one dice... I wonder if Edwards ever got around to fixing... Seems to be empty for now. I feel sorry for the poor slob who has to clean that out.
But he does have a drain, so would he maybe have something for it? But I can't speak to him. I don't know, honestly.
Well, at least he died. I'm pretty sure I saw...
No, I don't think so. Why don't we go speak to one of the suspects? And I could have done that smarter by going here, that's just faster. Because we haven't been to the water treatment station and the opium den. Maybe we'll find something here.
Crisparkle Lane. Nothing crisp or sparkly about it. I wonder how many layers of advertisements you'd have to cut through before getting to the wall. I can't make heads or tails of it, but I'll bet you 10 crowns it doesn't say welcome.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I'm going in anyway. I think. Or maybe not.
Yes? What do you want?
I'm interested in riding the dragon, let's say this.
I was told this was the place to come if I wanted to ride the dragon.
Oh. Well, why didn't you say so? Please, come in.
Chose the right option at least. Den owner. He is happy. Oh, this is Darius. That's funny.
Poor horse. That fellow in the armor must have weighed a ton.
Yeah, they are not too kind to
They're
animals.
really dedicated to their theme in here, aren't they?
I would be too.
She's not gonna be much help right now. Best not to bother her.
What do you mean right now? What is she doing?
Fancy.
Or do I need her later?
At least they provide their clients with... Now I see why they call it riding the
Can we speak to Darius? He seems kind of out of it.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a man by the name of Darius.
She's watching me.
Well, look no further. Welcome, friend. Sit, join me.
I'll stand, if that's all right. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Questions are the path to enlightenment. Answers fly by as birds on the breeze. But will a caged bird sing? That is the true question.
He sounds
Wonderful.
Scottish.
He's as high as a kite.
Mhm.
This is gonna be worse than pulling teeth.
Might be funny. Let me see. Is this gonna be the same with the son from that grand dame who couldn't speak to me and then I had to give him something and he became normal? Don't know. Maybe he'll just stay this way.
Are you familiar with a man named Ronan Lespay?
I know many men. Some old, some young, some rich, some poor.
Yeah, not very
Some I know
useful.
by name, some by face. But this man you speak of, this Ronan, he is unfamiliar to me.
I have a ferrotype. Do you recognize him?
Forgive me, but my eyes are blurry. I cannot make out his features.
Well, he's useless, isn't he?
A little.
Too bad there's no way to snap him out of it, like there was with Dupre's kid.
See, that's what I was saying, so that's what I have to do maybe. Or not. Is he giving me a hint that I should do that, or is just saying that's not possible, so keep going?
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven on election night?
Murder? Was it a murder?
It was. A man was shot in cold blood.
That would explain the commotion, as well as the sound.
So you heard the gunshot?
I did. I thought it might have been one of the voting machines making the noise. But then there were shouts, and people began to run.
Did you see or hear anything before you heard the gunshot?
I seem to remember hearing a man shouting a name.
A name?
Yes. It sounded like Priscilla.
Well, how about that? He's managed to be of some use after all. Assuming he's telling the truth, of course.
Why wouldn't he?
And does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Afraid not, young man.
Lou added. It doesn't mean anything to me either, because the sister's name is Emily, isn't it? Yeah, I think so.
What can you tell me about the Silent Raven?
Ah, the Raven. My home away from home.
I would have thought that was this place. Unless this one is just the home.
Do you have many friends there? People you speak with often?
Yes, friends. I call them friends anyway, but really, what is a friend? Someone who drinks with you? Someone who shares secrets with you? Are those friends? My father used to tell me that the only two friends you had were your mother and the crown in your pocket. Well, both of those are gone now, so what does that mean for me?
I don't know, sir. I'm just asking about people you speak to at the Raven.
The barmaid, Nicole, she gets mad at me sometimes when I break things. But she's all right.
Wait, is this the guy who keeps talking her ear off? I think so.
Have you ever conversed with a patron called Singing Tom?
Singing Tom? You mean old Tom Puffin?
I'm not sure. I was just told he was called Singing Tom and was a regular at the Silent Raven.
That's the man. I see him in here all the time.
You do?
In here, not just at the Raven?
Tom is a child of the poppy, just as I am. He truly understands the world as it is.
Do you know where I might be able to find him?
Yes, he's the choir master at St. Denis Cathedral. That's where he spends his time when he's not here.
You mean to tell me we have to talk to another one of these loonies?
Loonies.
Wonderful.
Well, you don't have to all loonies, but this one is kind of weird, yeah. He's not really answering my questions in a normal way. What about this?
I was wondering if you could tell me whether you saw a certain man at the Raven on election night. He's tall, of strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Lots of people like that go to the Raven. I see loads of them every night. But now that you mention it, I do remember someone like that. He was a strange one.
How so?
I remember one of the times he came in, he was adjusting his hat. I could have sworn when he took it off for just a moment, his hair was bright red.
How is that strange, exactly?
Because his beard was jet black. It was the oddest thing I'd seen. Well, it was the oddest thing I'd seen. Until his beard slid halfway down his face.
Interesting.
See. Well, thank you for the information.
Wonderful. This testimony is about as useful as a hole in the head.
It is still
Again,
useful.
There might be something to it.
Yeah, because now I have a hair color, so that is useful. And also we now know that this person was using a fake beard for whatever reason. I'm not gonna ask these two because I honestly don't think the election matters that much. I hope not. Now I'm gonna ask it because otherwise I have to come back and ask it and I don't want to
So
do that.
did you manage to get out of here and vote?
Please don't bother me with such trivial matters. Why should I care who leads the government? As long as they don't outlaw places like this, they can do whatever they please.
It's one way of looking
Is
at
this guy
it.
ignorant or just apathetic? Yeah, well, I don't know, and I don't care.
Let's end.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, young man. May you find peace and happiness.
So now I can maybe adjust the profile for Kate Upton. Is her name Kate? Yeah, I think so. Because I know the hair color. And maybe I have to ask more people and then I will get more information and then it will become more complete. So this is new. I keep checking off a location and getting a new one. This is gonna be a big case. I think it might be the last one. So I have to go find Cormac at the water treatment station. I have to speak to Dr. Edwards, but I think I have to find the gun that's in that, what do you call it? Sewer, whatever. And show it to him. And that's why this is still on here. And I have to speak to Tom Puffin, and he's also a bar, what do you call it, guest, whatever. I have his testimony. Verona was shot, someone shouted the name Priscilla. But I don't... Oh, and also need to find a use for this small gold key. Next time I'll go to the St. Denis Cathedral because I haven't been there, and the probably water treatment station first because I have had that longer. Maybe that doesn't make sense, but it feels right to me. So these two locations, and go to Upton to update the APB, whatever it's called, because I now know that he has red hair, which I didn't know before. Maybe these two will also give me more information, could be. And I don't know what else to do. I have to find something to fish out that gun, but I don't know what exactly. So yeah, bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Curious what happens next? Subscribe to my page so you don't miss anything.